Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back. Movies That Don't Suck podcast, episode 17.
17.2. The fucking lockdown's coming soon.
No, guys, well, at least the election's over and we survived. We're not in a bunker or a cave.
It's not officially over yet. We'll see.
Call this a cave, right,
Yeah.
Danny?
Well, we're in a basement, so
Yeah,
we're surviving.
We're in the bunker.
All right, the usual gang for the evening. Frank.
Yes, we're back, sir.
Mike.
Here. What's going on?
Tim, what's up?
I'm full of sushi.
Nothing much.
All right, guys, so let's jump right into our first topic of the evening. A little show I think we've all been watching called The Mandalorian Season 2.
All right.
So, Tim, I'll start with you. What have you thought so far of the first two episodes of The Mandalorian? Let's go with just two episode by episode. The first episode's called The Marshal. What'd you think?
In the chat today, what we were talking about, I think because Frank just watched the last episode recently, he said, for some reason, I think it's better
It feels
already.
better.
And I agree.
I
I
agree.
can't pinpoint
I don't know why.
something,
Yeah.
but I'm liking it. Because, I really enjoyed The Mandalorian the first season. I thought it was a little overrated. I thought people were kind of really fucking...
people were saying it was like the best show of
like
last year.
saved,
Yeah, no, there's
like
no way.
going crazy for it. It was good. It wasn't.
It was very
It wasn't saving.
It wasn't very
It wasn't
good.
saving Star
it was,
Wars.
It was
to me.
very mediocre for
Well,
me.
people were saying that's the thing. Some people said it was saving Star Wars. Some people said it was, like you said, just very good and people enjoyed it and it was fun.
It was. They did so much garbage that something that's good looks way better.
Okay.
If 7, 8, and 9, if the movie 7, 8, and 9 were all 10s and it blew us all away,
Right.
Mando wouldn't look. It would look good, but it wouldn't look like, oh my god, this is insane. It looks good because it's so much better than what they've been doing with everything.
And it's
else.
different.
And it's
just different enough.
And people are sick of the Jedi and all that bullshit. But
That's
for
fucking
whatever-
Star Wars. You can't be sick of it.
for whatever
You
reason,
can't.
I like it better. I was really the first episode was my favorite episode.
Ever?
Of all of them?
Of all of
all of
them,
them.
you're smoking crack.
Episode
box.
1 was my favorite episode of all of them, even the first.
Even
season.
the last two of the first season.
I might have forgotten.
Yeah, see, I love the last
Nah,
two.
the last
first
two were
season.
very
Remember they were
were
escaping
good.
off Gideon, the dark saber, the sacrifice
Yeah,
by G11,
but-
11, whatever.
Just that fight scene at the end when they were in the bar or whatever that was.
in the yeah.
Was that? Is
No,
that
in
the
the
beginning?
beginning of the first, the beginning.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
they were like boarded themselves in the house.
When Apollo Creed was in, when he showed up at
and they were
yeah.
and they had to escape through
I-
the
Yeah, that was good.
That first episode was my favorite one.
Well, did you
for some
notice? I don't
reason.
know if you guys
Get the
we
fuck
didn't talk
outta
about this. I like how they're continuing this episode numbers. Like someone brought this up to me. A friend of mine said it's not episode 1 of season 2.
No, it's like
It's
chapter
episode
9.
yeah.
They're continuing. So I'm like, it really is one long story that one day when this is all over, people are gonna binge watch.
In the beginning of the
We'll see
episode, I
about
was
that.
like, how many fucking times can we go to Tatooine? Like, how many times are we gonna see Tatooine?
I know.
I fucking know I know more about Tatooine than I know about the state of New York.
Well, people
There's
are
so
more
much
annoyed
shit.
with that woman. They don't really. They find her
Yeah,
annoying.
she's
the
a little,
mechanic.
eh.
She's weird.
But
Her character. is
she
weird.
didn't
turned
bother
out
me
to
that
be
much.
cool. I really liked it. So, I'm liking it more than last season for whatever reason.
I like what you said about. We all said this is that it kind of it feels more confident. It feels like the group has figured out what worked in the first
It
season.
feels
and now
like
that we've
Star
done it,
Wars.
and
Yeah.
they're like they know what they're doing now. They're not kind of
Yeah.
feeling their way around. Now it's
Yeah.
like here you may not like our filler, but we're confident in the goal of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it just feels like they have a steady hand. Really,
because even for
riding
this
the ship.
2 as a filler, but I
Yeah.
liked
Both
it
of them
more
were
than
fillers.
Well, I would
Just
disagree
because
with
of the ending of the first one.
yeah.
yeah.
They're both fillers.
No,
That's
but
the shit that
you
bothered me.
found out what happened to Boba Fett's suit. That's more than filler to me.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought
That's-
Timothy Oliphant was a
that's
relevant part of
filler.
that story.
That part isn't. That part isn't.
Yeah.
But the whole episode was.
It's filler compared to like
Do you understand what I'm
him
saying?
and the child has nothing to do with them.
Right,
But it's not filler because it adds
What
to
happened
the
in the
lore
first episode?
overall.
I
Crate
forgot.
dragon. See, that's what
Oh
you're
yeah,
arguing. You're arguing that
they had
killing the crate dragon
Yeah, they had
is
to kill a
not.
dragon, and then he had to save a frog.
So I know what
What
you're
the
saying.
fuck?
It has
The fuck? It's the same thing.
it has
over and
nothing
over.
to do with like the mystery of the child and those scientists who are still around from the Empire. We didn't learn anything more about that. So
You didn't
yes.
watch anything of the Mando, right? You
Never
haven't seen
seen it,
anything.
any of them.
Okay,
Really?
so-
Never.
Are you gonna
So-
start?
I don't have Disney Plus.
He's,
So.
he's
man, you
waiting
better-
for Willow to
Yeah,
come
I'm
out.
waiting
Yeah.
for Willow. Yeah, I know, but I have no real interest. You know, it looks good. I heard it's good.
I think
Yeah.
you might like it more even than us because if you're not a real, You could watch this show and not be
know
a fan
Star
of Star
Wars.
Wars,
Yeah,
and
right.
enjoy it.
It's a very
Yeah.
casual show for people to get into, which a lot of people have said that this is the. See, I've heard a lot of people say that this show is the thing that's getting them into Star Wars, where they're like, "Oh, I don't know anything about Star Wars."
That's
And
'cause
people are
it's
saying,
younger
"Oh, but you can just
people."
watch
Yeah.
this." Yeah, but
It's
I've
younger
also heard some
people,
older
yeah.
people, like 40, 50-year-olds, that don't know anything about Star Wars, and are like, "Let me see what this is," because their kids have Disney Plus.
Now they're saying.
I've heard that a little bit.
Now they're saying, "Let me see what this is."
Yeah, no, I've heard it.
What the fuck is that?
No, I know it's weird.
If you have Disney Plus, watch all the fucking movies. Then
That's
now
a great
let's see
point.
what this
I
is.
agree.
Someone was in my office the other day,
Yeah.
and I have like a Baby Yoda mug on my.
Oh, you do?
that someone got
Yeah.
me.
That's awesome.
And then like a picture, like of Baby Yoda, like a Star Wars thing, and
Yeah.
some woman was there. That's like a someone that was just there that was a colleague in the building, and they were like, "What? Who's this green person? Green teacher?" And I was like. They're foreign. I think they moved here maybe a decade ago.
Oh,
But
okay.
still, I'm like, are you under a rock? Because Baby Yoda is almost as recognizable as the Pepsi fucking
At this
sign
point.
now.
Like
He's everywhere, bro.
We've gone over this.
He's
but
in Costco.
The genius of Baby Yoda is that I told you guys this before too. Is my mom just walked into the room and is like, "Why is there a Baby Yoda in this show?" And I'm like, she just pulled that out of the air. She doesn't watch. Mom's not on Twitter. She doesn't know.
Yeah.
So it's that instant recognizability.
Yeah.
They
that's
don't
just
even
so
know
genius.
that it's actually Yoda. It's not
No,
Yoda.
it's not Yoda.
Species, same species.
Right.
Okay.
See, the problem is, but we don't know what Yoda's species
Yoda's
is.
dead
Yeah.
already.
So we gotta-
Yoda's dead already.
Yeah.
At this point in the
No,
show.
no, he's
Yeah.
not. Oh no, I'm
Yes,
sorry,
he
you're right.
is.
Yeah,
This is
he's
after
dead.
Jedi. You're right.
Post-Jedi, yeah.
Post-Jedi,
This is
you're right.
post.
No,
okay.
it's just
Like,
Baby
Boba
Yoda,
Fett is
but it's not
older.
real. Because my
Right,
dad,
right.
my dad's a fairly knowledgeable. I'd say he's a
He's a solid.
run-of-the-mill Star Wars fan. He knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, "Why is Baby Yoda in the show? Is this like before the prequels?" And I was like, "No, it's not Baby Yoda."
See, like our parents
Yeah.
are realizing what this is and figuring.
So he knows like the timeline. He's like, "How is Baby Yoda so small? Like this is way before like Episode 1." And I'm like, "No, it's after. It's not Baby Yoda. It's just their species."
I like how they call him in the show. They call him the child.
The child,
I
yeah.
think that's
I
so
watched it
awesome.
with, for whatever reason, the subtitles was on, and it
Mm-hmm.
kept saying "Coos," COOS.
What is that?
Yeah,
That's what it kept saying. I'll take a picture of it.
That's
like-
so weird. What is
like
that?
the-
about?
I don't know,
referring
but
to
it
the
says
Coos?
when the Mandalorian speaks, it says Mandalorian, blah 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 blah, and Frog Lady, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
This it says Coos.
What is?
So
what-
maybe
don't-
is that a leak that they
Yo!
don't know?
It could be.
Is that what it
Holy,
is, a
could
Coos?
be.
How is IGN and all these sites not like figured that
I don't
out?
know why, but why?
Wow, we might have a breaking
Hey,
news.
breaking
Breaking
news
news
on
here
movies
on the
and,
show.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yo, listen.
How is it spelled?
COOS.
COO. That's. See, it sounds like gibberish.
So, if the frog
Yo,
person
hold
was
on.
speaking, it would. What name
Yes.
did it say? Frog
It would say
woman.
it would say like frog, woman frog, or
See,
whatever
the
it
people online are
was.
calling her Frog Lady.
But did it say her species name? Or
No,
it said it
no,
said like frog woman?
no. But it said when Mandalorian speaks, it says Mandalorian, the 2 dots or whatever.
And if like
it
one of
says
that
his
other
name.
woman character speaks, it will say their
I'll
name.
look it up right now.
Like
All right.
like, wow.
That- yeah.
Coos.
yeah.
COOS.
What is
Breaking news
breaking
here.
news
Yeah.
or just broken closed captioning? Who knows?
But that's that it would give
It's
a
interesting.
name.
It would have probably leaked. I would have assumed
Yeah.
if somebody knows, But
I will. You could post it on a story tonight.
okay. Yeah, I'll post it.
Yeah.
We'll find
When
out.
the next time you watch it, put on the subtitles. You'll see.
Okay, I'll check that out.
I don't know why, it was
so
weird.
What did you guys think of Timothy Oliphant doing like the martial western kind of thing? Because he's a guy who does some western stuff. He's been in some westerns. He does action movies. He was in the Hitman. Timothy Oliphant's been around.
It kind of feels like a western.
Yeah, it's very much inspired
it's
by-
a West. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was
You like his character?
I liked his character. I asked you. You didn't think it was Boba when he walked in.
No, I knew. Because remember you
Yeah.
said like, oh, I knew because the red.
Yeah, he had like
vest,
some red sweater or
thing,
something.
and I'm like, yeah, this ain't.
You didn't think it was Boba when he
No,
walked in.
no. Oh, you talking about
When he
in
first
the
walked
beginning?
in.
Yeah,
At the beginning, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't
what is
know.
this?
Did you know right away it wasn't him? He's like, I knew it wasn't Boba.
I kind of
I knew.
I was like, wait, that's Boba's shit, but that doesn't. He looked skinny, too skinny.
Yeah.
To be him.
And I also knew because I had heard Timothy Oliphant was going to be in the episode, so I'm like, oh, this is like the transition of like figuring out Boba is in it.
I thought it was the safest kind of way. Like, how he ended up with Boba's shit made sense.
Right.
Like, they kind of explained it.
Yeah.
Jawa's
the
got
junk
it.
traders, and they just
Yeah.
made a deal, and
And then they kind of explained how you can get out of the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah. Well,
What they say? They said something about it.
They said, oh,
He could do it to Mando.
They said
he could
something
do
about a
Mando
crate
did.
dragon with Sarlacc, and they could.
I didn't. I know what you're talking about, but I didn't catch that part. Well, they also hinted at it with him getting swallowed at the end and using the taser.
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could have done
There
the
was
same thing.
I think, unless it was something I'm forgetting that I read something. I think there was something in the episode that alluded to. There was
Maybe an Easter egg.
someone saying, "Oh, like about a Sar, like how, like that you could escape a Sarlacc pit." Like
Okay.
it was, you know, I don't know what that's referred to when you in writing a movie, but like someone explained it.
Okay.
To just tell the audience, oh, like that is how we
Oh,
did
see, I
it.
didn't even catch that.
Exposition dump.
So
Yeah,
do you remember
exactly.
that or no?
I remember hearing that it was a thing, but I didn't catch the exact dialogue, so I was like, "Oh wait!" And so now you're bringing it back up, so I'm not remembering.
So now that
exactly what it
we
was.
mentioned Boba, what do you think his role is going to be in this? How important do you think? How pivotal do you think?
I think it's going to be huge. I think they're holding back on him now because they showed you real quick, but I also think tomorrow's episode is going to be like. they're not
Oh,
gonna do
one
another
comes
filler.
tomorrow?
I think
Tonight,
I think the
right?
episode's tonight. Yeah, tonight, 3:00 in the morning, whatever time
Oh, yeah,
they
good-
do
good
it,
luck.
wherever you live. I think the key for him is
Yeah,
going to
watching
be like
that.
they're either going to, like you said, they're going to fight. There's going to be some sort of confrontation, but I think the end game is still because they're holding off Moff Gideon and they're holding.
He's
off
not
the
a Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. That's the other big thing. Yeah.
That's
He's
what I'm
not a
saying.
They're
Mandalorian.
both. Think about it. They're both not Mandalorians.
Well,
now
no, Mando is he was adopted into a Mandalorian.
Right,
He's
exactly.
considered a Mandalorian.
right.
Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian
Right. 'Cause
at
he's a
all.
clone. Right.
No, but Jango Fett wasn't a Mandalorian. He
Right.
just was a bounty hunter that different times. I guess that Mandalorian armor was probably more available at that time in
Yeah.
the prequels.
Exactly.
You could probably just buy it if you had
Well, there was
enough
more
money.
of everyone in the galaxy
Yeah,
and the bounties
yeah.
and the Jedi. I remember
And-
they were always hunting Jedi. They always said the greatest adversaries to the Jedi were the
Yeah.
Mandalorians.
So, I don't know Jango Fett's backstory of how he got that,
Me neither.
but I know Lucas said they are not Mandalorians.
right.
They're not. So
So didn't I thought somebody said somewhere once that he had found it and taken it off like a dead Mandalorian or something?
possible, but is
Possible.
Boba's
That could be true.
stuff from his father? Yeah,
Yes.
I think he took his father's
Yeah, 'cause remember
stuff.
they said
I don't
he-
know if he had his own suit. He was a kid at the time when his dad died. Remember Obi-Wan?
I don't remember too much.
Mace
Yeah.
Windu cut his head off.
Right. 'Cause
Yeah,
right, and then
yeah, but I don't
And
remember.
then he picked up his dad's helmet with the head.
Right. Well, remember they explained.
Oh,
in those-
yeah.
In one of those Star Wars theory videos, they explained that the head is actually not in that helmet when he picks it
Oh,
up.
yeah?
They say like if you watch the shadows of when it's getting cut off, you actually see the head coming out of the helmet. So like people always wonder why did the head come out of there when he
I
grabs it?
didn't
And
know
the
that.
cool part
Yeah.
about Boba that expanded that you never watched Clone Wars the cartoon,
Which is
he was like a 16-year-old kid. Like he was like one of the most badass dudes in the
Yeah.
galaxy at like 16.
feared.
Yeah,
Like-
like he was in prison at like 16 with them,
Yep.
and he was doing like mega hits and shit.
Crazy jobs. Like he was
At,
one
like,
of
a
like, the
young
youngest,
age.
most deadliest
Yeah.
assassins like in the game.
So
Yeah.
they showed him as a kid, and he was like,
Well, now he ain't young.
Yeah, he's
that
not
picture,
young.
that
That's the
when they
same
cut
guy.
to him, he was
Yeah,
old
exactly.
as fuck.
Tamora,
It
like
is.
Tamora Morrison or something.
same
Yeah,
actor that
same
played
guy.
all the clones.
It is. Yeah.
I would have rather
It
not
is.
heard that we got that casting because that casting got ruined like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they're bringing back Tamora Morrison who played Django, but now since they're clones, he can play the son too. I'm like, that's awesome, but I wish.
Yeah,
we
it's
didn't
exactly
know
what
that.
Boba grew up to look like.
Yeah.
He looks a little more like he got a shaved head now, and
His
they made
face
him look
is
a
messed
little.
up.
Yeah, looks like he's lived a hard life.
Somebody told me that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That you can tell by the weapons on his back that he's like living like that Tusken Raider life
Yeah.
and like going like just scavenging along and like.
We'll
figuring
see.
out-
I like that too. They gave you more insight on the Sand People.
Yes,
They gave you a lot of information on the Sand
They
People.
did, and
that
how like they have their
it's
own.
not necessarily like we always thought of them as like ruthless savages and like
Right, and they touched on that with the,
Yeah.
the
'cause
villagers.
Yeah, because Anakin went and killed them all.
Right, he said I slaughtered.
Well,
them.
enough with the fucking
Side jobs.
Well,
I'm like, come
But
on,
I thought
man.
that was cool. I like
It was cool.
They
but
showed more about the Sand People.
what would you rate the episode, Frank? Because that's something you obviously didn't like as much as me and Tim did.
They're both like.
Look-
It's,
look-
it's tough because it felt better than the first season.
right.
If that makes it, I don't know how to
I
explain
don't
it.
know, I agree with you too. I,
It-
don't know.
it-
I think he
just-
said like they know what kind of work.
It feel if
Yeah, they got
and
the
it was
steady hand.
longer,
Yeah, the episodes have been longer. which is
so
good too.
that's better. But I would get like a 7.5, 8.
Okay.
7.5.
I like 8.5. I think
I'll
8.5.
say 7.5.
You said it was your favorite episode, Tim. So that a 9
I think
for
it might
you?
be like a 9 for me. Yeah.
Wow, he really loved it.
I might be falling for like the nostalgic. Like I said,
they're
like I'm
combining the
learning
old and the new
Yeah,
really
I'm
well, 'cause-
learning more about the Sand People and stuff. Sometimes I gotta be honest, when they go to like some random place and it's like, I didn't really like those episodes with the other woman that was in it, and they like went to her people.
Cara-
The
Cara
other
Dune.
warrior.
I didn't love those episodes with
I
like
understand that.
children in the village and like.
Another Easter egg that was cool. Did you notice the ship that Timothy Oliphant was riding on?
Yes, it was the pod racer
It was
for Anakin's pod racer.
Anakin's pod racer.
Get the fuck
Yeah.
out
Oh, you
of
didn't
here.
catch that, Frank?
Yeah.
No.
When they were riding side by side on the ships, go back and take a
It
look at
wasn't his
Timothy
pod. He
Oliphant.
took. You know, the pod racer has those two
was the
thrusters.
pod.
The
He
yellow
took-
cylinder.
He took one.
It's a yellow cylinder.
Yeah, he
That's
took
you can
one.
tell.
yeah.
It's like a piece of his pod racer.
Damn.
A little thing like that. All right, so sounds like we all liked the first episode, but maybe it wasn't. For Tim, loved it. Maybe it wasn't the greatest, but it was a good start. It was a
I wouldn't
perfect
say it's
start.
not. Yeah, it's a good start.
Okay.
I would agree with that.
So the second episode was The Passenger, and I think we're a little bit more split on that episode because now Frank, now you have more of a point to discuss filler. This was a filler episode
it was.
Yeah.
through and through. It's
Yep.
here's a mission, somebody's in trouble, got to do a thing to get to the thing.
Yeah, and it's still like
It's just.
he's on that main course to find more men. Why does he think more Mandalorian are going to help him
because
with the child?
because they know the Jedis are like gone. So instead of him trying to like find Jedi, he's like, oh, let me just find more of my people that might know where Jedi are because they're my
Okay.
sworn enemy to the Jedi. But it's like, oh, I know the person that can do it, but you got to take her eggs.
So he's not trying to get. He's not trying to.
And you
find,
can't drive in hyperspace either. You have to drive fucking 45 miles. You have to drive the speed limit.
Yeah, that was stupid.
Like,
that was
what?
fucking-
Or the eggs will blow
Yeah.
up.
Meanwhile,
this guy's slurping eggs
He was
like
half the
fucking
eggs. I was like,
hard-boiled eggs.
This woman's gonna get fucking mad.
Yeah.
I'm like, she knows how many fucking eggs are in that thing.
Well, apparently not because Baby Yoda ate like what 5 of them.
Yeah.
Let me
More.
tell you guys, we already know this, but they nail everything with Baby Yoda.
They
the way
do.
he
It's
looks
nailed.
at Mando, the
Yeah.
way he reacts, the way he pushes the pod when they knew the
Yeah.
missiles were gonna come out.
Start calling him Coos.
Yeah, exactly. Coos. I loved one of the best little visual gags that they had was when he stole the jetpack from him, and then he launches it up in the
Yeah.
air, and then Baby Yoda just looks at him like this, and then Mando's like,
Everything they do is spot on.
Yeah,
with
they just nail him, and then just seeing shots of him just eating the egg, like even the gag at the end where he's looking at the eggs and the woman's like holding her thing,
Yeah.
and he's got another one in his mouth. Like they're nailing it. So even though not a great episode, I thought it was
Those
just so
fucking
much fun.
winter spiders and
See, I
shit.
thought the spider thing was so dope though. Did you guys notice these action scenes are awesome?
Yes.
The one in the
Yeah.
fighting ring in the beginning was awesome.
I loved that, like the MMA.
That was like
fight,
a
yeah.
brutal fight. And then the one where he got ambushed with the cord, that was a cool little fight. And then him running from the spiders and using the flamethrower and
The
running.
spiders are again Ralph McQuarrie's. Everything to him.
They always go back to Ralph McQuarrie's art.
It was original Ralph McQuarrie art. They do everything with him. That guy fucking set the stage. He
4
almost
years ago.
set the stage more than Lucas with how much shit he designed that
They
they're still
pull up-
using.
All this stuff. It's unbelievable.
You want to talk about Lucas? You want to get into that?
Yeah.
Before we transition,
Yeah.
so they're not trying to. He's not trying to find Yoda's species.
That's
he's
a
trying
dope
to.
shirt. I
He's
just
trying to find the
bought that.
Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He's just trying to. Well, he's trying to find the
People that
his
are like
people.
him, because I remember one episode they were like he has abilities, he can move things with his mind, and then someone's like, oh, those were like the Jedi, like,
Right. So he's trying to get.
So he's trying to find Jedi, not like a planet of Yoda.
He's trying to find his
Well,
species.
well, first he's trying to get other Mandalorians to tell him, to get him to Yoda's species. That's
No, I'm
the thing.
saying, is he trying to get them to Yoda's species, or is he trying to get them to Jedi? Any Jedi?
No, I think the immediacy is Mandalorians to Yoda species. Like the Jedi are, as far as I'm concerned, the Jedi are pretty much gone, eliminated.
yeah, but
Yeah,
they'll
that's
never
what-
be
that's what-
gone though.
Right, but he doesn't like nearly. I'm thinking what his perspective.
But I thought
Yeah.
that's what you just said. You're like he's trying to. The Mandalorians know more about the Jedi. He can't find a Jedi.
Right,
They
so he's
might.
right.
Because I didn't interpret it as that. I thought he
Really?
was trying to find his species, but now I'm thinking maybe they're trying to give him the Jedi. Maybe he's gonna find someone.
Yeah, that's the thing. We don't know where this is all kind of going because we know that there's going to be this whole thing with Boba, and there's going to be the whole thing with Moff Gideon and the Darksaber, and the Darksaber is going to bring about Jedi. So it's like they're slowly inching along, and I think that's the thing. You're
How many more
complaining about.
episodes are there?
6 more. 8.
What year is this?
I don't feel like that's a lot.
5 years after Jedi. It's 5 years.
I don't.
So
fe-
it wouldn't be crazy. It wouldn't be crazy.
Here we go. With
Uh-oh.
here we go.
Here we go.
Luke's around right now.
He is. He
It
is
wouldn't
not.
be crazy to DH
boy.
a Mark Hamill for one episode, and
The internet would implode.
Now you're getting crazy.
he's the one that accepts the child.
Tim. You have any idea what's gonna happen?
Would that be crazy?
It would be amazing. It would be amazing.
5 years after the Jedi, Luke's not trying to hide it anymore. He's rebuilding the Jedi
Right.
Order.
He's,
It's not
he's
that-
teaching Kylo right now in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
basement somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
chilling out
yeah.
right there, yeah.
So would it be that crazy?
That'd be freaking amazing. I'd love it. But they're tying all this into the Clone Wars stuff and the Dark Saber. We know Ahsoka is going to make an appearance at some point.
But he doesn't have a species anymore.
He's got to
right?
give
Yoda.
No, we don't know anything about the species. They could be a planet of 12 billion people like him. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
He's got to at the end of this season or show, this child either got to be put in the hands of people that are with the Jedi or people of his own species.
Exactly.
I think they're not going to show his own species.
Nah, they wouldn't do that.
It might not be Luke, but it might be someone who's like in the New Republic that like knows Luke. That's like we have to give him to me.
We heard that there's going to be an Ahsoka Clone Wars involvement, so
they're not going to go down the route of, oh, we found Yoda's home planet. Let's go drop him off and like. That's not.
No, they can't.
Way.
No.
He is the show.
Yeah. So they're gonna go at the end because it's gonna come to an end. He's gonna separate from the Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, that's exactly.
It's gonna go the route of who's the current Jedi, and I think it might not be Luke, but it might be like someone on the radio, like, oh, Luke's like he's in the show behind the scenes, and this is like maybe a Padawan or something that like accepts the child on behalf of Luke or something.
You know what I've heard? I'll leave you guys with this thought. I've heard the craziest like theory that when this show ends, when they call the show The Mandalorian, that the Mandalorian is not Pedro Pascal. They're thinking, what if he raises the child to be another Mandalorian, and the whole time we thought the show was about this Mandalorian, it's the child, it's Baby Yoda becoming a Mandalorian, and that's what the show is about.
That's crazy.
How dope would that be? But again, we're talking another 3 or 4 years down the line. Yeah. But imagine they do with that.
Yeah, and are they going to age him at all? That's the other question.
Well, we talked about that. I don't think they're going to age him too much.
No.
Another
at
cool
some
thing
point, probably.
I do want to mention is before we jump off here, I loved that the frog lady used the robot to talk to him. I thought that was
I love that
was
too.
dope.
I love that
because not only did she do that, she's like, "Come on, you gotta keep your word." And he's like, "Nah, come on, let's just sleep." She's like, "I thought the Mandalorians kept their word," and he's like, shit, like she's right.
He's like,
I'd have said the same thing. This fucking bitch. Like, I'm about to cook your eggs.
And the visual storytelling too of a guy in a helmet. They really nailed that too. You could really tell his emotions the same way they do with Vader all those years of reading his emotions through the mask. You really can tell it's like Pedro Pascal or whoever stuntman is behind that mask. They're nailing the reactions of how the visual storytelling.
I forgot about that part. I really like that part too. She rerouted so the robot could talk.
Yeah, that which I thought was.
And he was like, he's like, don't
that's
do
why
that.
It's like, and maybe it wasn't the greatest episode, and it's filler, but the spiders were cool, the X-wings were cool.
Yeah,
there's so many cool things.
I will agree with that.
Yeah, like that's.
I will agree.
But
with
it's always going to be filler.
You know, Dave Filoni was one of the pilots.
It was a lot. The
that.
first season was a lot.
No, I mean they got to stretch it out, especially if they want to keep making more seasons.
But they were shorter episodes. That's why I was like, come on, man, enough of this shit.
I'm telling you guys, and I'll just say this: if you guys want to have final thoughts, I'll say this: the 6 more episodes left. There's gonna be at least 2 more fillers.
You got Luke in my fucking head now.
They gotta come to an end here.
It's a good
Where's
point.
he going? It's one or the other.
I know.
A few seasons down the line.
I don't want it to be like he dies at the end and then like he gives it to like the woman.
Yeah. Maybe he's going to end up being another... Maybe the end of this is the Mandalorian dies and he's taught Baby Yoda to be a Mandalorian and he's going to go off on his own adventures.
At some point, though, Baby Yoda will separate from the Mandalorian. It's
they
gonna
have
happen.
to.
They're
Yes.
teasing it happening.
Yeah, they have to.
Every 2 seconds, he's, oh shit, where's the baby?
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit,
He's getting in
where's
trouble.
the baby? Yeah. Every 2 seconds.
He's eating those eggs.
At some point, that baby's going to be gone.
I can't picture the Yoda being a Mandalorian just because Yoda's.
Yeah, me either.
It's not the route.
Yeah.
Now they're different
Jedi
people. Just because
powers,
they're the
though.
same species. Yeah, he'd be unstoppable.
It'd be the shortest Mandalorian.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So it's sounds like we've enjoyed the start of the Mandalorian. 2 episodes in. There's gonna be hopefully a big time episode tomorrow, and we'll see where it goes, and we'll definitely check back over the course of the season and see what we think.
All right.
So we'll end the Mandalorian, and then we'll transition to, of course, the creator of Star Wars, none other than George Lucas. So guys, we heard a little interesting story about George Lucas this week.
An amazing story.
An amazing story. Apparently, there was a post on Reddit that was leaked from a book that's coming out that's going to cover the years of 1999 to 2005 from the prequel trilogies, and it's from this book where we heard what George Lucas's ideas were going to be.
The book is like about George Lucas during that time, or
so what it says here is that, as per Screen Rant reported from a Reddit user, posted on a page from Star Wars Archives 99 to 2005 book that hit shelves earlier this week, detailing some of the ways that Lucas' Star Wars Sequel Trilogy would have differed from 7, 8, and 9. So I'll go through these.
So it's like about him during that time period.
Right. It's
the
about
book.
basically what we can call it, like what would have been. So I'll go through these changes and then we'll talk about them. So the first one was Darth Maul was going to be the main villain and considered the godfather of crime.
Love it.
Darth Maul and his apprentice Darth Talon would have been the two main villains. Next thing would have been the rebirth of the Jedi after Order 66 events. Luke rebuilds the Jedi Order with 50 to 100 survivors from Order 66. And then Leia is the chosen one, not Luke. Leia would have been revealed to be the chosen one after becoming Supreme Chancellor. And then
They said that was going to happen at the end of everything.
Yes. And then the final thing was George Lucas sold all these ideas to Disney. Before Disney did deal, there was ideas that were prepped for the films in 2012, which we know in 2013 is when they announced 7 was going to come out in 15.
So the part that confused me a little bit.
We'll go from
This
there.
was obviously before Clone Wars because he brought Darth Maul back in Clone Wars.
Yes.
And then they killed him off in
Rebels.
Rebels.
Yeah.
So that was all not what have happened.
Well, they would have made
When was Clone Wars? In the early 2000s,
Clone
wasn't
Wars was the 2006 to 2011, and then it came back 7-8 years later, right?
So this was before these ideas were well before Darth Maul even came back.
Well, we don't. That's the thing. We
99,
don't know when he actually
2005.
thought of them. We just right. So
But if it started, I don't know when Clone Wars started. If it started in 05, 06.
I think it was yeah.
There was another Clone Wars. Remember the old school Clone Wars?
Yes, the
But I don't think Maul was in that one.
not originally, and then eventually, yeah, no, he wasn't. So that's why they got.
So he's always looked to bring Maul back. 'cause
He always
he
wanted to.
brought Maul
2008.
That's the start of Clone Wars.
Yeah, first episode, October 3rd.
back. So
Okay,
he
so I said 5.
so he brought
Final
Maul back.
episode 14.
He brought Maul
2014.
back in Clone Wars because he was behind Clone Wars.
right.
So he's always been wanting to
So
bring.
he's
Maul
always wanted
back.
to do it,
I think he knew he had such a cool character. That's what everyone says.
and that's why they've always lived that dream of Maul through the cartoons because they never got to do this.
Yeah.
Um,
Right off the bat, I think it would be way better.
I love it. And the whole Godfather of crime thing, how many times have you and I talked about, like, the seedy underbelly, Maul being, like, the crime boss, being, like, in charge of, like, what was the name of the gang that he ran? It was in Solo, too. The Dark Sun. What was it called? The Black Suns? Frank, do you
I forget.
do you remember what it was? The crimes? It was, like, I think it was, like, the Black Suns crime syndicate.
I forget.
Right?
Like
Let me look, because it's going to bug me. But...
I know I'm in the
No,
minority
go ahead.
here.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Yeah, say
But
it,
no,
whatever you
like
want.
Darth Maul to me, like, and I didn't see the Clone Wars cartoons or anything. All I know of them is from the original one. And
I'm sorry, Mike. A Crimson Dawn. I said the Black
Dawn,
Suns.
yeah.
Crimson Dawn. He would have been the godfather of Crimson Dawn. Continue, Mike. I'm sorry.
other than this guy looks cool, like there's nothing to him. To me,
It would have been so dope to me.
I don't
if
know,
he was the
man. This
villain.
guy is not Darth Vader.
He's not, but he's. You haven't seen the anime
He had
stuff that we've
literally
seen. He's
one
so
line,
awesome.
and it was, I think, "Yes, my master."
Yeah.
and that was it. He was played by a stuntman. He looks
Park.
cool, and he has a neat lightsaber. Like everyone loves him.
He has
You
one
guys
of the
love
best lightsabers, I think.
him.
I'm telling you right now, his animated stuff is fantastic.
Well, they rave about that shit. I didn't see it either. I haven't seen any
I
of
don't
the
know.
Clone
I'm just
Wars.
going by the movies.
Well,
and
what I agree with you on is, which I was going to mention, it's cool, but it lacks the urgency. A crime boss, Darth Maul, is really no comparison to Luke.
That's a great
It's
point.
lacking the urgency
The
and
end
the
game.
threat of this is big. This is the Emperor.
right,
And you wouldn't have that figure. I think you would need a bigger figure than Maul in the second.
right. He could be like the muscle.
Yeah, like
you know?
Snoke.
Right. So even Snoke felt
Yeah.
like that big.
He felt like that in the beginning.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Say what you want. They made mistakes.
Yeah.
We know, but give him credit. He felt like that big
in
thing.
7.
Put
So
this right
I
now.
so I agree. I agree with you on that. I think there would be an undertone of this doesn't. Luke is fucking Luke now, like a full master.
Right, he's
like
Grand Master
Darth
Luke,
Maul. We
right.
know Darth.
Yeah,
Maul.
but he would have been too.
Who?
And he
Darth Maul.
And he said they had his apprentice
We don't
Darth
know-
Talon.
yeah, we don't-
even
We don't
know
know
Darth Talon
anything
would have
about
been.
him.
Well, this
from
would
the
be-
movie.
This would all be.
Yeah, but you don't know nothing about Snoke. You don't
Yeah,
know
but,
shit
like,
about Snoke.
yeah,
Yeah, we got
but-
3 movies with him.
True.
2.
Yeah, but
I know what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. And you make a good point too. Like it's not Darth Vader.
Yeah,
It's not.
There's no like looming
I'm surprised.
character where you're like, who the fuck is like?
I'm surprised
know?
you liked it so much because I know when we talk about Clone Wars and we're like, oh, Darth Maul came back. You're like, oh, that's like stupid. Like, why is Maul back? You didn't love that.
Well, you
when
guys
Maul
explained it to me like 85,000 times.
It's so dope.
But
He's such a good.
But
guy.
in the beginning, when you heard like Maul,
I
back,
did not
you're
like
you're
that.
yeah.
I did
so
not
that's
like
probably
that.
what his reaction.
No, and like I'm just reacting from like the news articles. I read one article, but I saw others, and all of them were like Darth Maul, Darth Maul, Darth Maul. When Solo came out, everybody's like Darth Maul.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Dude, like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. He's cool looking to me. That's it.
No, see, I normally would agree with you, but the animated stuff really like filled it out for me. Where you see his genius, his tactics. Like he's a genius. He's a great fighter. He's got that direct involvement with Obi-Wan, where he killed his girlfriend. Like there's just so many things that they've given Darth Maul to build his character over time.
Plus, knowing what the last 3 movies were.
Yeah.
In
yeah,
hindsight,
it's easy to say.
Darth
exactly.
Maul's like,
No,
yes, give me that.
They
Right,
they
great
have
point, Frank.
built him in those
That's a
series,
fair point.
but he doesn't.
The movies suck.
To me, he wouldn't elevate to the character of this is our big bad for the next. This is
I
the
think
guy
he
that's
could've.
replacing the Emperor.
Nah.
I don't know. He's
See,
not as
I think he
powerful.
could have.
But I think the
He
key though
could
too
have
is.
got
I guess you had to explain how.
But we're also overlooking Darth
what the
Talon.
fuck? They didn't
We don't
explain
know.
it.
At the very least, like have him be the muscle, and maybe somewhere along the line he betrays the big bad guy
And takes over.
him out. And
Something like that.
Well, that's what the Sith do.
You'd have to first,
Right?
before anything was rewritten with the animated series, you have to say, okay, he's chopped in half down a ditch. How's he coming back from this?
Right. Well, then.
And
Well,
then
how
to
the fuck
become-
did the Emperor come back?
no one knows.
magic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We heard Sith magic.
They
He came
made
back here, and we shit all over it.
Yeah,
We spent a whole show shitting on it.
yeah, but I'm just.
They had no idea what they were doing with any of those movies.
no,
the
they
first
did-
one,
the
the
first
first one,
one,
they kind of did,
you're
but
right.
after that, it was like
JJ
a
knew
fucking
what he
The
was
mess.
first one, I was like, I was
They just
very
played
excited.
a safe, soft reboot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They did
Brought
it by the
It was
number.
a hope. All
It
over
was,
again.
Exactly.
All over again.
They did set up Snoke so good, and that's his part. You got when I watched 7, you got that. Oh my God, who is this guy Snoke?
Well,
He's-
they make it seem like he's the new
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
like that level or whatever.
But you're right. I don't think I would have looked at Maul like that.
yeah,
I don't know.
And it knows again in hindsight, people flipped out. We all flipped out when we saw Darth Maul at the end of Solo. We're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Darth Maul! Like
It
now
wasn't
he-
even. It was a
now-
hologram.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now, but you know what it is? It confirmed all the fans who love the animated. So people just say, "Oh, it's the animated thing." It's but
No,
now
now
he's
you
brought
know
into
that.
right now that he's in the official real movies.
I think they're just scraping
live
the
action,
bottom of the barrel.
It like cemented all the people that are like,
Solo
"Oh, I
was
gotta
a
watch
good
the animated
movie,
now."
bro.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't
actually
bad.
liked it.
I thought it
I-
was all right. I thought it was better than any of the 3
Wow.
Oh yeah, me too.
the-
I love Solo.
Oh, the-
episodes, whatever they
we
were.
Yeah.
were worried about that.
7,
We were
8,
doing
9.
our show in
The
Portchester.
first 7, I really like that movie.
I like Rogue One a lot too.
Rogue One is awesome.
Rogue One's great.
All right, so the next part of it, we said rebirth of the Jedi Order after Order 66 with Luke. But again, we've heard before. How many times have we said building the temple up? Luke is doing his thing, bringing more Jedi into the tent. You know, he's Grand Master now. This is all the stuff that we wanted to see, not Luke miserable and depressed on a friggin' island.
We all wanted to. Yeah, I mean,
This would have been the real Luke we wanted to see of him teaching and
Yes.
showing off his insane power.
Yes.
Right.
And
It's probably the way he wanted it too. I know he's like
Mark
He's pissed.
publicly expressed his displeasure with the
He
way.
did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, and if you see an interview from, I watch all these clips. There's probably YouTube videos of like 1,000 clips of Mark Hamill showing his disapproval
Compilations.
of like making comments at.
Yeah, I saw him.
And one of them was actually an interview he did. I don't know if it was like Johnny Carson or something. One of these talk shows of him when they were concluding Jedi back in the 80s. And
I was gonna say Johnny Carson. You're talking. Yeah.
So Luke, it was like during the 80s, like when they were like when Jedi was coming out,
was like
and he
83.
said he's like, oh, he said Lucas did come up to me one time and told me like, hey, how would you feel about like revisiting this
I've
again
seen
in
that clip.
25 years and like you are now the Obi-Wan old master character and like rebuilding.
Yeah,
and
and
he was
he's
like, I don't know, like I might need a job in 20
Yeah,
years.
exactly. He's like, I'll have a job in 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, that's what we wanted to see. It goes from the peak of the Jedi when I think there was 10,000 at the total.
Maybe more than that.
In
Yeah.
episode 1, and then the fall of them. Luke's the only Jedi left,
Right. Yoda's gone. One's gone.
and then I didn't expect 7 to be a thriving Jedi fucking order, but you want to start seeing it went like this, and then you want to start seeing it go back up a little bit.
But when you say Jedi are gone, like we have to emphasize that the Force lives with people.
Yes.
So
well,
there's gonna be not be Jedi's though.
But what you
Because
said,
there's no temple, there's no teaching.
But what you said is in that thing, which I didn't realize until you just read it. It said he went around and found surviving Jedis that survived Order 66.
It says Luke rebuilt the Jedi Order with 50 or 100 survivors of Order 66.
So these are people who, like Obi-Wan, that lived. They were in the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Right.
And he went around the galaxy and found
This
them
is like
and brought them back together.
This is like the video game Jedi Fallen Order,
Yeah.
with the Order
Because
66
there's
Survivor.
still
You play as a Jedi surviving.
There's still at any given time a couple hundred Jedi around the galaxy that didn't die from Order 66.
they're just in
and
hiding.
Vader never found them.
Right.
Yeah.
So for him to find them and bring them back, who knows? It could be cool. And then he brings them back, and then they start with the Padawans.
Right.
That would have been fucking awesome.
And we've always said how many cool stories could they make? And again, like they're doing with the video game, finding that time between 3 and 4 where we know that there's Jedi out there, and you could just tell so many dope stories of like Disney Plus could make a series about that.
Yeah.
Post Order 6 between 3 and 4, and just like surviving Jedi around
just
the galaxy.
like how
it's so cool.
those comics coming out with Larsa and Tekken, and they're going around the galaxy trying to find all the old Jedi like artifacts.
Right, and
To
it's
be
7
looking
with
for
him getting
fucking
killed.
Jedi.
Right. They ruined it.
And then the whole
That's
dynamic of him saying, Anakin was my father, but lost.
They ruined
lost
it.
hope. And maybe in another parallel universe, we're sitting here watching these great movies.
We're all loving it.
And the final part of this was Leia is the chosen one, not Luke, after she becomes Supreme Chancellor. I think that's
fine. That was set up in the original trilogy.
Yeah,
It's like
there
one
is
day
there's
you'll
another.
feel it too, or something like that,
and yeah,
or you'll be understand it,
you'll
or
have
you'll be able to
have
use
that power
it.
too. And
Yeah,
Yoda said there is another in case Luke didn't come through.
that's right. That's
So
right.
they always had that idea,
And they actually followed through on that with this a little bit. They had
They
her
did.
training Rey.
which I thought was one of the best parts of
Yeah,
9. They actually showed that and how she was using her powers.
So,
and,
I mean,
That would mean no Rey, no Finn.
almost any movie. You could take 3 people off the fucking street. They could have done a better job than Disney did with these 3 movies on. In my
we said they
opinion.
should have hired us. We had all ideas that we wanted to do. How many times have we
So.
said that? So
Yeah, they
as much as this is so cool, and I love that we got this news, it is kind of like sad too, because it's like, oh, what could
it's like
have
a
been?
dangling in
Yeah,
your face.
exactly. Great
But
point.
we knew before this news came out that he had given his ideas. He said himself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they didn't
that
use
he,
them.
yeah. So it's neat to see what they were. We all wondered.
That's the crazy thing, is that we knew that they wanted to work with Lucas in some ways, and that's why they
No,
had,
they didn't.
No, but I'm telling you, but that's why they brought Kazdan on to help write with JJ for 7. So it's like they wanted to have that Star Wars,
But they wanted to make it
know,
their own thing.
mythology. They did. They wanted
Which
to make- right.
which like
And they paid $4.5 billion for it, so you can't.
I
Really...
get making it.
they
their
may
own
have gotten
thing.
a good deal on it.
Well,
they
the way
did.
the way the fucking
If you're gonna-
shit is
If you're
going
gonna do
out.
your own thing,
Oh,
if you're gonna do
Think
your
they
own
got
thing,
better deal on
you better
Marvel.
do it the right way. And
How much
didn't.
did they pay for Marvel?
like 3.5, I think.
Oh my
It's
god,
insane.
that's the steal of a century.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Star Wars too. Star Wars already made up for it.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
They had to have
no,
made
I think
up
they
for
did.
it.
I think they
Think about the movies, the profit they made on the movies, the merchandise,
Right,
the
the-
toys,
Yeah, but-
and the show.
and the game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how much?
Yeah.
How much does it?
The
How
subscribers.
much money does it cost them to like set up the park and all that stuff?
Well, they spent
Yeah.
$1 billion on that park. Yeah, over $1 billion on
Don't
it.
make it bad. They'll make it bad.
Eventually, yeah. First of all, the toys. Kids don't buy toys anymore.
Well, the toys were down.
Yeah.
And I heard the Solo. We talked about this. The Solo toys were in the shitter when they came out.
Is it, are
But
these
Disney
Yoda toys doing
licensed
better,
a
though?
lot of like
Hell yeah.
Baby Yoda toys.
they licensed everything.
You couldn't get one for like
missed the
months,
ball.
right?
They missed the ball on that. That's another thing. Like Kathleen Kennedy should have had them shits ready to go. And I remember,
Yeah.
like when
They were understocked.
They didn't even exist. And
No.
by the time the show came out,
Yeah.
True.
it was a while before any like officially licensed.
Yeah, it's like she watched the first episode with everybody else. It was like, oh, like we should start making the.
Oh, we have a
making
thing
these
here?
now.
No, they should have known.
Are there sales for the baby Yoda toys doing well? now?
Not only are they doing well, what the funny thing I've seen online is, I'm sure you guys have seen this too, is that people were literally watching the first episode back with Mandalorian, like with their Yoda toys. We're talking about grown ass men here, like having their Yodas on their lap.
I know
And they're like,
Sideshow
first
just got
episode,
their
first episode.
Sideshow just dropped their replica of it.
Really?
Yeah.
If people see now, not only do people want the plush Yodas, baby Yodas,
Going to
they-
like the one that looks real,
the
right?
life size official.
Of course.
Like
yeah.
the one that feels
Spaceballs, the coloring book.
Yeah. That's the best.
Spaceballs, the flamethrower. The kids love this.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks.
Yeah, and it's me.
He's still going.
I just saw an
man.
interview with him the other day.
I don't jinx him.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
2020's not over yet.
We jinxed Sean Connery.
Did we?
Oh yeah,
We talked about Bond last movie and
the last
Connery.
show you brought it up.
And then in peace, man.
Yeah.
Disney earnings
Jesus
came out
fucking
today.
Christ.
Anyone knew-
Okay,
mention
yeah,
this?
you were saying what was going on
Don't
with
let
the
me
earnings?
mention your name in
Disney
death. I'll
stock
kill you.
earnings. Disney stock earnings came out after the close of the stock market today.
Mhm.
And I guess with the vaccine news and everything, and they beat earnings. So
And the subscribers are up.
So the stock closed
so-
at 35, and it was aftermarket trading at 143.
Woo! Nice for me.
Their earnings per share were expected to be, if this is right, this is crazy, 20 cents, and it went up to 68. And then the revenue for the last quarter was expected to be 14.3 billion, and it was 14.7.
Good.
All right, and the subscribers were at 60 and change. Now it's over 70, and we're still not even a year in yet. That's we're not,
COVID definitely.
we're
helped
not.
that
I know,
out.
but we're not a year yet with Disney.
But it did what they envisioned their wildest dreams, right?
Way more
far
than their
and away.
wildest dreams.
I
70
remember
million
reading-
subscribers.
I remember they were hoping. Maybe I'm wrong. I remember reading saying they hope to be at 20 million after like a year and a half, which is like it took Netflix like 10 years to get to 160, 170. They're at 70 in less than a year.
Yeah,
It's astounding.
COVID, and that's just the way. That's
And
just
the
the way
a
people.
lot of
Yeah,
deals.
yeah. The fact I was talking to my wife today, and I was like, "That
Yeah.
shit's still $7."
It's so cheap.
And they just raised the price on Netflix again recently.
And,
Yeah, they
and
did.
the Verizon
Yeah.
deal where people got a free year. You know about that?
But that's just the way people consume media now. Is streaming services.
Yeah.
No,
No,
exactly.
COVID helped them
Netflix
out
came
for
out.
sure.
It wasn't like
It wasn't.
Netflix set the standard.
Right. They create
Set
the market.
standard.
Well, you know, it's a big market for. I don't have kids, but I heard from a million people like, if you have kids, it's such a good thing. Like
everyone I know who
every
has
penny
kids.
to have it.
Almost
You
everyone
know,
I know
and
has kids has it.
That was a market that wasn't tapped yet. You're not buying Netflix and stuff
For your
or
kids.
Hulu for your kids, really.
Right.
Before this, I think kids watched YouTube.
They
YouTube
did.
Shows
Yeah, they
and
watched
stuff.
YouTube Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and they're not watching HBO.
It was a market there where, and parents are happy to pay it
Yeah.
if it keeps the kid entertained, especially during when everyone's fucking home in the house right now.
Exactly. Danny, anything going on in the comments? Anything, questions, or anything going on?
There's a petition going around. Have Amber Heard be taken out.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, okay,
today.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Who's that?
Danny Fandom.
Shout out to Danny Fandom. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later in the show. There's a lot going on with Johnny Depp right now.
No,
That's
God.
crazy. All right, so guys, close the on the proposed George Lucas sequel trilogy.
That was
And-
closed a long.
Exactly. That's a great point, Frank.
Yeah.
And before we
Kathleen
go-
Kennedy closed
Yeah,
it on
she
him.
did.
That's true.
She put a lock.
And before we go into
She
our
did.
before we go into our fan questions, well, let's remind everyone we're live here on YouTube. Come check us out.
Instagram, Twitter now.
Instagram, Twitter, on YouTube, Movies That Don't Suck, all one word.
Yeah.
Come check us out. Subscribe.
Like, likes, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
That shit.
Leave a comment. We'll make sure to answer.
You want to mention Queen's Gambit real quick or no?
Oh yeah, that's great. Before we go into the fan questions, I do want to mention the Queen's Gambit on Netflix. I'm really enjoying that show.
I did not.
really did.
I saw it, but I didn't watch it. It's good.
Excellent. I think it's
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
best shows of the year. I want to give it a
Yeah.
little shout out in this little moment we got.
Speak
Tell
about
me, I
it.
have
Speak
no
about it.
nothing
Yeah,
about it,
speak
so-
about
It's
it.
the number one show right now. It's about a young girl who is naturally gifted at a young age.
She's like a chess prodigy.
She's a chess prodigy, and it's her life growing up, like becoming like a grandmaster.
She's an orphan in the beginning. She's taught to play chess by like the in the orphanage basement and stuff like that.
And she's seeing like 10 moves ahead at like the age of 8.
Right.
Like she can just play it out. It's really well written, well directed. It looks beautiful. It's
So it's
incredibly
like a
acted.
drama, or
It's a drama.
Yeah, yeah.
it's a
But
drama.
no, it's really good. I mean, it's just basically it takes place for decades. It starts in like the 40s or 50s.
No, yeah, it's like 50s, and then it's in where
is it
so
based
50s
off
to
a
60s.
real story?
No, but it's based on a
it's-
book, but not a real story.
It's fictional.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really good.
The young lady Anna Taylor-Joy, the girl from The Witch. This girl is going to be a huge star.
This is gonna take her to the next level.
Yeah.
Even though she's been in like Glass and New Mutants. And,
Was she in Glass?
Yeah,
I
Glass
did not
and
know.
Split.
I just
She was the main girl, right?
Yep, she's the one girl. Main girl gets kidnapped with the long
Oh,
dark
really?
hair. Yeah.
Okay, well-
she is.
She's great in The Witch, like I said, along with everybody else. She's in Roger Eggers. Robert.
Robert Eggers.
new upcoming like big Viking movie that
Yes,
they're
I heard
hyping
about
up,
this
the
movie. She's gonna be
Northman
in.
or something
Yes,
like that.
She's gonna be in that. So she's gonna be.
She's the next big thing, I
Yeah,
think.
I would
think.
recommend everyone out there check out The Queen's Gambit. Shout out to Reviews by Quinn. Did a review of it this week. Did an excellent job breaking down
really?
the
This
show.
is the
Yeah,
first
to do
season.
by point.
Obviously.
It's a
It's
limited
yeah,
series.
limited
It's
series,
more-
7 episodes, so
Oh,
it's not bad. My
series.
wife and I watched the whole thing
I
in
really
2
like
nights.
those.
If you have even like you don't have to know be a big chess person because they're playing at such a high level that I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? And I know the game well. I know how all this move. I know how to play. But even I'm like, whoa, like what are they doing? I don't even know.
My only complaint, and it's funny too. Like I just came home and I heard of it, but I didn't know anything about
Me
it.
too,
I
I
just
heard
knew
people
she
talk
was.
about
Yeah, you sent me a text. I came home from the gym and my wife was watching the first episode, and then that like minutes later, you sent me the text saying, "Oh, this show is great."
And I tweeted. You told me you saw me that I tweeted about it too because I was hyping up how good it was doing on Netflix.
Okay, yeah, and you said it's like the best reviewed show out there
It is.
now.
It's like the best review of the year so far.
So I sat down and started watching it, and it really is great.
Hour episodes.
Yeah, some are a little shorter. My only complaint is it's incredibly predictable. To the point to where I was pissing my wife off. I'm like, she's gonna sleep with this guy. she's gonna lose to this guy. You know,
you're calling the wins and the losses.
yeah.
She's gonna spiral on this.
Yeah.
She'll recover from this.
Tony Romo calling the Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But other than that, everything you said about like the production value, everything is beautiful.
Really well written.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy who co-wrote Logan and The Lookout, which I love that movie.
Yeah, no, highly recommended though, and it's something I would have never. I just two things like came together at the same time.
Yeah.
My wife watching it and you saying it was really good. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. Plus, I like her.
Yeah, I love Anya
Yeah.
Taylor-Joy. Shout out, number one on Netflix. You love that, Frank. They always put the number one.
They always do that.
It's number
Yeah.
one. So
A lot of good stuff with her mom, like the relationship between her and
I
her
love
adopted
that.
mother.
I love that. It was really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to Queen's Gambit. Everyone check that out.
Yeah.
All right, so on to our fan questions. Let's start with the first one for the evening from Matthew's Movies on Instagram. He asked us, what's your favorite movie soundtrack and favorite song in a film? Great question. I'll start off. For me, there's just so many movies and there's like just so many good choices. But I know for me, whenever I think of movie soundtracks, gotta go with Rocky. Like those training montages.
Wow.
We're talking about
Are we talking about
original
like
scores.
score? Yeah.
or-
See, because
or-
I have like a few.
Yeah,
I separated
I
it.
would go either way because you can do original or just licensed movies, licensed
Mm-hmm.
songs. Because my second choice would be Scott Pilgrim. They're all licensed
What gives you-
songs, but I love that.
Because
that
it
soundtrack.
may- I think obviously
Star Wars is the
creating
best.
original scores is, easier than plucking a
Sound-
song, and
which is
putting
what
it-
Quentin does.
Yeah.
He plugs.
Yeah,
obscure.
but I
You said it's easier or more
no,
difficult.
creating
Creating
a
a new
score is
score.
way more difficult.
Okay,
than
okay,
plucking
okay,
than
just make it-
plucking
yes.
songs. Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that soundtracks are like I love like the Bronx Tale and Goodfellas soundtrack.
Great.
Okay.
Great
Of course.
choice.
Yeah. That's a good
Like,
choice.
I think that scene with them in the bar with the Beatles song playing. Dum, dum, da-da-da-dum.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I always picture that as like a great.
Scorsese always got
Fit.
great songs. Like
Yeah.
even in Casino, all those like old '60s
Yeah,
songs,
yeah.
like Nights in White Satin and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just it sets the tone of the movie
yeah.
so well. Frank, do you have any
Score,
thoughts?
obviously, I think Star Wars is the best.
Oh well, John Williams.
Yeah. Well, John Williams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
John
but
Williams.
Just,
John
the,
Williams.
just the Star Wars.
Mike, who do you
the
love? You
opening
love Horner
scroll.
too.
James Horner.
I
Yeah.
think James Horner.
My oh, go ahead. I'm
one
sorry.
that's coming to mind quick is Wild Thing from Major League.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
When the Wild Thing comes in.
That's
the
awesome.
whole crowd sings
yeah,
it.
Because it's in
that
the
was-
movie,
Yeah,
his intro
that's what I'm
music.
It's,
saying.
it's
Yes.
such a hype. That part gets me so,
So
hyped
hyped.
up.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
does.
saying.
That's
Give me Vaughn.
Yeah, give me Vaughn.
I
Yeah.
love that. Great pick. Frank.
People,
Yeah.
people love the Guardian soundtrack. That
Great. Another one.
Guardian soundtrack is, I think,
What Guardian?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
Those-
yeah.
Those are that's considered like one of the best. Like,
Yeah.
my
songs are
mom let me to the movie. She's like, "Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy."
Same for my
soundtrack."
dad. He's like, I'm like, Dad, you're gonna love this movie because you're gonna love the action and you'll love the music, and it's all those like '60s and
Yeah.
'70s
Yeah.
classic songs that my dad.
So
loves.
that's a big one. What's
Talking about scores?
Scores or
Well, I'm
yeah.
gonna divide mine up. I have it.
It's
counted.
hard
Like
to-
real
yeah,
quick.
you
It's
have
not
to
gonna- I'm
do
not
it.
gonna spend a
Go
lot of
ahead.
time.
2001 Space Odyssey.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
an all-time great.
Yeah.
Danny,
Ric
2001: Space Odyssey.
Ric
great.
Flair used that shit.
Oh,
That
that's
was
right.
Ric Flair's
Yeah, you
entrance
can't not
music.
talk about that.
So
Yeah, throw one at me.
when I looked at it, because I looked at like you got scores. So for me, James Horner, my favorite, and I think the best score ever is from a movie called Glory. It's a Civil War movie.
Denzel, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Excellent. It's a great movie. One of my favorites ever. And then you got soundtracks where it's licensed songs. I mean, like, I think...
Anything Quentin.
Well, yeah, that too. But I think, like, Forrest Gump has an excellent soundtrack.
Excellent.
It does.
Excellent.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
I would
does.
not have thought
Fantastic.
that.
Yeah.
It's
Shout
up
out.
there. It's a double CD.
It's up there. It's
Yeah.
it's up there. There's certain movies that people consider.
Built around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Was.
Fantastic.
Each decade,
Good
each
call on
part.
that one.
Yeah.
And then and then a favorite one from like my youth that has it's kind of a mixed thing where it has original songs is Friday
Oh.
from Ice Cube and
Yeah.
it has
Hood rat,
but-
hooch. Yeah.
yeah, but also like a lot of people, as I'm sure you probably know, you guys probably know, there was a second soundtrack to that called Friday Old School. So you had the first regular soundtrack that had all the hip hop songs on it.
Yeah.
And then all the old school songs that
Had
they
the
played,
funk
that
era
Mary
song.
Jane, and
Yeah,
all
the
that
fu-
stuff.
yeah.
They had a separate CD,
Pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
all that stuff.
I didn't even know that they had a separate.
Yeah.
Ding dong.
You know how I knew
Yeah.
that? I didn't.
Ring,
Yeah, the Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Because when I got
the
the
head
Friday
ring.
soundtrack, I accidentally got the
The wrong
old
one.
school one.
Oh, you bought, so you
Wow.
bought the wrong one, basically.
I stole them.
That was the best thing.
You're stealing from Pinky's fucking record shop.
But yeah, that's my soundtracks.
I cannot get jiggy with this shit.
That's a great picks, guys. All right, thank you very much, Matthew's
Sam
Movies.
Goody.
All
Pink
right.
Blockbuster music.
Sam Goody, holy shit, what a
Yeah,
throwback. This
Coconuts.
kid, he still shops there.
Oh, yeah.
The only Sam Goody
Yeah, I
left
do.
in the world. He's still
Yeah,
he's the
I'm
only
the only one
customer
buying
left.
Yeah, he also rents movies from Block.
Yeah, exactly. I find him
And he talks to people on his
on his house phone.
cord phone. Yeah.
On my wireless
His
house
rotary
phone.
phone.
All right, thank you very much, Matthew's Movies. Next question is
That's
from our
funny.
biggest fan, guys. Views by Quinn. He wants to know:
Gotta get this guy
are there
on the
any
show
movies?
here.
I know we're trying, man. We're
Zoom
it's,
call.
it's a Zoom. We have to do this COVID. He wants to know: are there any movies you would like to see adapted into a series or vice versa? So shows that could be movies, or movies that you would want to see into shows.
I think they're doing one that I thought of, and I've
Yeah.
never really seen it, but I think The Stand. I think they're doing it.
They
The
are
Stephen
doing.
King- okay.
Aaron has been hyped for that. He wants
Okay,
to
yeah.
see it,
See,
yes.
like any of these big Steve, I feel like it would have been better served as a
Pro-
based on what I've learned.
Yeah.
Probably.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not a bad idea.
Like a
Yeah, well,
Netflix
because
show or something.
yeah, if I've never read the book, but I've heard what's in the book, and it seems like
go into a lot more depth of episodes and
exactly.
stuff,
I mean,
yeah.
like there's like fucking cosmic shit going on in there.
Yeah.
I've heard it's wild.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope.
I'll
actually.
throw one at you. I know they're already doing it. Say it anyway. I love turning John Wick into a TV show with the whole Continental Hotel thing.
He's not going to really be in it.
They Keanu Reeves could be involved.
doesn't
maybe
always-
in an episode.
First
I don't like
of the
that.
first episode and last 5 minutes of the last episode.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't always. They're kind of doing that. You could say Sopranos. They're kind of doing that with
Oh,
Sopranos.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
That's the TV to the movie.
I
I
think
started watching it again. I felt bad.
I just saw like during COVID, I watched. I never saw that series except for a few episodes, but I watched
watched the
the
whole thing?
whole
when
thing.
does that work out? Turning like
hard.
movie to show, it never works out.
It's hard
Like
to say.
they done Rush Hour. That
Bombed
was
horribly.
terrible.
If you
Bad Boys.
Bad
Oh,
Boys.
they turned Miami Vice into a movie with Colin.
Michael
Farrell
Mann
and Jamie Foxx.
directed that
Yeah,
shit.
I
It's
didn't-
like
I
almost a
don't-
3-hour movie.
Was it good?
No.
Okay, so yeah, that,
so
that
it
didn't
just
work.
never works.
It's rare.
It's very.
I'm trying to think of one that has
I'm
worked.
trying to think of
and-
movies that would be a good idea.
Well, I
to
think
turn
that's
into
a
TV show.
huge. Well, Entourage made a movie, and it,
Yeah, they were not great.
I
the
don't-
movies weren't bad.
They were okay.
It was extended. It was like long episodes.
I told you I
That's
felt
what it
that way.
felt
They were
like.
like
So
long episodes.
whatever, fine. It put a closing on it for me that I enjoyed.
Sure.
And it probably did okay. I don't think it lost money or anything.
hate
I don't have any. I mean, they're doing Sopranos. Hopefully that turns out well.
That be that.
No, that's
They
gonna-
got a fucking,
Joey Diaz. I fucking love that
That's
guy.
gonna be
So
awesome.
They
hopefully.
got a.
They got a
That's
mountain
a
on
good
their
example because they got and it's
Hopefully
the
it's
kid
good.
playing his dad.
That's
Who's dead
back. A
now.
world of pressure.
And they said, I'm hearing he's like nailing it.
That's what I've been hearing too. That's gonna be scary.
This is the first time you watched it.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
I thought it was really good. I didn't like the last season that much. I thought it dragged out. They wasted
and I
way
agree
too
on
much
that.
time on Tony being hospitalized after Junior
Yeah.
shooting.
That
him.
took forever.
And then the rest of that season, most of it was AJ, and they totally fucked up AJ. They should have made AJ like like want to be bad like his dad.
More like-
and then
yeah.
there's like the father's kind of torn. Do I really want my son?
Going the same
But they
path,
turned him
yeah.
into a little pussy the whole time. He's just
Yeah.
bitching.
And it was they
I
used
didn't
him as
like
a
it.
commentary on like the fear of
And I
like
didn't
9/11
like that.
and terrorism. I didn't like that either.
I didn't
Yeah, but
like
that was
the-
just timely.
It was timely, but I didn't like that they used him to like talk.
The
about
last
it.
episode was great, right? The way
I didn't
it
like the
ended.
way. I did not
I'm
like that.
Being
I felt-
sarcastic.
Oh, okay, yeah. I felt like that was just
awful.
I felt like that they just didn't know what to do. It was like the easy way out for the
It
writers.
was.
Yeah. There's no. Is there a clear answer on it? There isn't. Right?
No.
There's no clear
He
answer.
said he's,
Every year
no,
he
he's dead.
chases out and like reveals a new sentence about
Yeah,
it. He
yeah,
says
yeah.
like 2 words about
Yeah,
it.
But
it's stupid.
It's interpreted as him being
He's
killed.
dead.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd rather see him
But
die.
you don't consider it one of the you don't consider it.
It's a really good show. No, but no, I don't. I think like oh man, I won't.
Have you seen Game?
Did yeah.
like
Game
it?
of Thrones, like I said, also the last season they totally
They
fucked
butched
it.
it.
What
Way
do you like
worse.
What do you like better?
I like Game of Thrones better
Told you.
yeah,
because
Thrones is
Game
better.
of Thrones to me was like going like up until the last season was going to be the greatest thing ever.
Agreed.
Told you.
And
Tell him to put,
He-
it was like
tell
I
him.
was trying to I was like hating. I didn't get on the Game of Thrones till it was probably like the 3rd season, and I was like hating on it because
Yeah.
everybody liked it so much, and I'm like
Yeah.
fuck that shit.
yeah.
But when I finally started
it
watching
sucks you in.
no, it's excellent. It's excellent, but they just
They
fucking-
What's
They
your favorite
did.
show?
They did.
I mean
Breaking Bad. You ever
no,
play Breaking
no,
Bad?
no, I never saw. I saw the first episode of Breaking Bad. And that was
Same. Literally the same
it.
thing.
Where the
And I
ass,
never
all I
watched
remember
any-
is the guy falling through the
What's your
bathtub.
favorite show? Like no,
That's crazy.
Probably we talked about this before, but I
Yeah.
love like Wonder Years. I thought like Fresh Prince was excellent. I love Family Matters.
but not like okay. Let's
like a series.
yeah, series, not like a sitcom.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot.
Sons of Anarchy was good.
See, I didn't see. There's a lot of them I haven't seen that are good.
It got very.
Those two are both excellent.
You watch Entourage?
I did not. I haven't. I don't think I've seen every episode, but it was good. I liked it. It was fun. When
It's not as much as a serious show, but
I
I
love when he's reviewing and they're like, "How is he fucking bloodbath, bro?"
I think Ari Gold is one of the best creative characters.
Do you know
of
what?
all time.
Both my brothers love Doctor Who. Have you guys ever?
I've never watched it.
I know it has a
They,
huge following. It's been on for 30,
dude,
40 years.
they
I've never seen it.
fucking love this show.
I've heard that show is huge. It has a huge following.
It's-
I've never
yeah.
seen
I always
one episode.
confused Doctor Who and Doctor Strange.
Oh.
Because didn't they go to Comic Con as Doctor Who once?
My brother,
Yeah.
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 My brother, and because he only went to Comic Con to go see the guy who plays Doctor Who.
Really?
They have a new Doctor Who every season.
Right, that's the show. It's always a new
Yeah,
guy.
Where- Come on.
It's British.
It's BBC. Yeah.
Is it superhero?
No.
It's
is it?
time travel, right?
It's like time travel.
Yeah, they like
Something
go in a
is-
phone booth. Or
Yeah,
something. That's all I know. It's like a fucking phone
I don't
booth.
know
It's been on
shit.
for like 5
about
years.
it,
It's
but
been on
they
the air for
fucking love it.
35
I figured
years.
you guys.
There's always
I don't know.
Always a new person. Like there was the first like woman to do it. There was the first like it's always
You
a
know
new.
what's a good show? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. No, I'm saying I don't know.
A good
enough about
show. It's on Netflix. It's a gangster show.
What?
Peaky Blinders.
Want to turn that into a movie? That could be a good vice versa. Quinn's question.
I guess.
You know
I,
what
don't, I don't think turning vice versa is a good idea.
I think would be a
I
cool
don't like
Netflix
it.
show. I keep mentioning Scott Pilgrim, but the idea that he's like fighting all the evil exes. I think that would be a cool.
Well, you know,
Netflix
it's funny.
show.
Like I was never a big fan of Zombieland with Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
But I remember watching that when it came out in the movie theater, and I remember reading that they initially planned it out as a show
Really?
first, and they line it got turned into a movie.
Awesome.
And I remember watching the very beginning of that movie where he's explaining like the rules, like
Yeah,
you
like-
run in the circle.
Yeah, and,
I could picture that
That's
being
a
made
great
into.
one.
I could be being made into a show, and like
Zombieland.
maybe a new rule in a different every episode.
Yeah, and every
Yeah.
episode's like rule number 1. Rule
Right,
number 2.
exactly,
That would be,
exactly.
Okay, one like that's awesome.
They made Limitless a show.
Didn't work.
That was
It
that.
doesn't,
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
It was a really.
Especially when you take the character that everyone loves and
Bradley,
then
yeah.
he's not in the show.
Right. It's just
It's like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, who watches that?
well, it lasted a long time. I didn't hear a lot of people loving that. It's very hard.
Well, I got 2 more questions in real quick.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
Real
From
quick.
last week, we didn't get to them. Are there any actors that you think have been hugely miscast? You guys asked for their answers. He answers Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor and
Really?
Batman.
I think it's a big miscast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's
horrible
extremely
miscasting.
one. And yeah, I think Keanu Reeves and Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Bad one.
Yeah, I think that along with one other thing keeps that from being a perfect movie.
Okay, that's a great one. I'll give you one. This one's really bad. You and I have talked. Zoe Deschanel in The Happening with Mark Wahlberg is.
Yeah, but that sucks.
I'm just saying, I don't know how they picked her.
I'm trying to think.
That is so horribly miscast. I'm like, why did you do this? Like, why is she in this movie?
And while you're thinking, his other question was, are there any remakes that you think is actually better than the original? I think the obvious one is The Thing. I think a lot of people think that. And
One of the biggest. I'm sorry.
that's okay.
One of the biggest miscasts in the Star Wars realm is everyone knows the kid.
Oh, yeah, very
yes.
good call.
Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
Jake Lloyd.
That's considered
Unfortunately,
like a huge.
Yeah.
unfortunately for kid, but yeah,
I don't
bad.
think he was as horrible as everyone says. But
No,
that's
he's pretty
that's
bad.
considered a. It's always hard to get a great performance from a kid.
Hey, a lot of people said Natalie Portman at the time was bad because more writing that wasn't how good Natalie Portman is.
Jake
Now.
Lloyd's
I don't
considered like a
know.
blunder of a. Because
Right.
they like.
I liked
They
other
went
kids.
around the world and like
Yep.
thousands of kids. For
Well,
that.
the pain of that comes from the fact that you showed me is you've seen the
Behind
final
the
3
scenes,
kids,
yeah.
and you're like, whoa, how could you not? That kid is clearly better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe the 4 of us wouldn't be able to pick from thousands, but if you gave me those final 3, I could tell you this kid should have been.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes of episode 1?
I mean, yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
like
remember
the
those
documentary
videos.
because
Yeah.
basically you know the Red Letter Media guys.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
yeah. He
yeah.
loves them.
So
Yeah.
that he uses that whole documentary as like the first of like the review of it. But yeah, they show the 3 final kids,
Uh-huh.
and one kid is
For
like
me,
a star. It looks like
I'm
he's,
like, this
he's
kid got the
killing
look.
it.
He can
Yeah.
nail. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, no. George Lucas watched Jingle All the Way, and he's like, that's the kid.
Yeah,
No, but
That was a terrible movie.
Is that
Jingle All the Way. I
no, it's not. It's not. terrible. It's
You
not
talking about
Schwarzenegger.
yeah,
in the
and
freaking
Shazam,
Yes, to get the
whatever his
Sinbad.
name, Sinbad. Yeah.
I love Sinbad.
well,
He was
House Guest. You ever see that movie?
no.
Who's the guy that died? He was on SNL.
Jingle All the Way. It's a good. I'm gonna watch that. This
I'll say so. Thanks to Views by Quinn for the questions. Let's transition into our next question real quick from Behind Curtain on Instagram. He asked us, would love to know everyone's favorite Christmas movie. His is Claus, which is an animated Netflix film. Phil Hartman.
Oh yeah,
I thought you were gonna say
He was Jingle All
that
the Way.
stupid Krampus.
Oh, crap.
Krampus was good.
I heard it. I
Dude,
heard somebody was
Krampus
not
is
bad.
good
It
movie,
looks so
bro.
stupid. It looks so stupid.
It was a bomb, but dude, trust me, Krampus. If you like Gremlins, if you like Ghostbusters,
It's like some old German folklore.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
some
Yes.
deer man or something.
Yes.
Like that's why they. It's like the same
Dude.
deer as on the fucking.
Yeah.
What's that
Nah, he's-
German drink that's black?
I have no idea.
Oh.
You do in college, everyone drinks it. Jägermeister.
Oh, yeah,
He's like
exactly.
a deer,
Oh.
isn't he? Like a deer.
He's got
No.
like antlers and like
Oh,
stuff. Yes, yes.
I guess that's how he's depicted in the legend movie. Did you see it or no?
I've not seen it.
He has hooves, dude. In the movie, he's like a scary monster. Like the design of him is scary. It's like a real suit. It's not like a computer
Is
animated
it
cartoon.
here or it's Europe?
No, it's in America.
I would not have thought from this question we would have been talking about Krampus.
Dude, Krampus! I'm telling you, Krampus is a good movie.
But is it a good Christmas movie?
It's a
Behind
horror
Curtain, what's-
movie, but it's a Christmas
it's a
horror
Christmas
movie.
horror
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Okay, I'll say for you guys, of course, classic Christmas movie. I got to my Home Alone 2.
That's my favorite.
Those are
Home
my
Alone
those-
2.
Home Alone
Over Home,
two.
over
But
Home
I
Alone
love
1.
I love him being in Manhattan. I love
Me
like
too.
the Christmas
The
feeling
second
of
one's
Manhattan.
better.
And he's at the
Really?
Rockefeller
Can't go
Center.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think you can go wrong.
He's at the plaza. He's at
Everywhere. Central
Rockefeller
Park.
Center, Central Park. So I love that. Like
You
that's one of
can't
my
go
favorite-
wrong with
And then
them.
I'll give you guys another one. I love Bad Santa.
I love Best.
I like
That's
that.
it. That's a great Christmas.
Bad
movie.
Santa.
She's like, last time I fucked with you, I couldn't shit straight for a week. And they set that up early.
Yes.
They set that line up earlier. It was good.
Frank, what do you think? It's a good.
I was gonna go Home Alone.
Home Alone. All right.
The
all-time classic. The easy answer for everyone is It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, Wonderful Life.
I've never even seen it.
Miracle on 34.
Never
You never
seen
seen? You never seen a Wonderful Life?
I've never seen it either.
Oh, dude, you guys gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's considered one of like the greatest
No, I
movies
know.
ever
It's
made.
like the number one Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Considered.
But
Yeah.
also considered one of the best. Like it's such a good movie.
And you said
Watch
I
it.
know
Watch
what
it this Christmas. You'll get all warm and toasty inside when you
They
watch
make you
it.
cry?
With
Yeah,
a
we'll,
cup of hot
You
we'll,
said-
we'll all be inside anyways.
it's
Don't
that's
worry.
a good point. You said Miracle on 34th Street.
is also like a classic.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
That's
a
a
You know what's a great
that's
movie?
like no.
I think The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Yeah, that was good.
I
like
forgot
a
about
good
that
Christmas
one.
movie,
That's
I
a really
think.
good one.
They did a few ones after I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Claus. It's called Claus.
The Santa Claus.
The Santa
When,
Claus.
when Santa Claus falls off the roof and he has to
Yeah,
become
he
Santa.
has Santa.
That's a
The
good. That's
first
good.
ones were good.
I didn't see
Elf
this.
is a new one that I think
I
a
was
lot
gonna
of people
say
like.
so
I like
many
Elf.
people love.
It's
You
Elf.
didn't
funny
see it?
though.
I like it a lot.
It's funny.
It's really good. Yeah.
What's another one, Mike?
Mine are obvious, but A Christmas Story and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
And then another one.
Those are huge.
Yeah, those are staples every year for me. And then I think just almost as good and not as known as Scrooged with Bill Murray.
That's a good.
Never
Not
saw
thought
that
of
one.
that
It's
one.
funny. It's
That's
funny.
a good Christmas movie.
Lethal Weapon, isn't that supposed to be?
It's kind of a
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Oh,
is
Die Hard.
Die
in that
Hard.
category.
That's what I meant to say.
But Lethal Weapon takes place in Christmas too, or at least it opens
That's
up
what I
into
meant to say.
Christmas.
Die Hard was like the
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Even one of the Fridays is a Christmas movie.
Which one?
Yeah.
Friday
Yeah.
After Next.
Oh, right, yeah.
I mean, Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
I always thought that like, if I ever had the opportunity to like put a movie, if you put a Christmas element to it, you always have a chance of it becoming a little bit more popular.
Right.
Because you release it during Christmas time.
Right.
People always want to watch Christmas
Yeah,
movies.
family. Yes.
And like you can kind of fall into that like cult classic Christmas movie genre of like there's not that many well done Christmas movies that are like.
And those still are good standout.
And I think you mentioning Die Hard, and we were talking about scores earlier. I love the score of Die Hard where they incorporate like the Christmas bells, like the shing shing shing
That's a good
shing.
point.
I love the opening, isn't it? The Run DMC.
Yeah.
That's
Argyle, the limo driver.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much. Behind Curtain. Hope we answered
We
your
should do
question.
actually a Christmas episode.
We should. Yeah, we'll do one this year. Well, great idea. All right, guys. So
I'm
for
getting fat enough. I could be Santa at this fucking point.
So our final fan question. We had 2 fans ask us about this, so we really got to cover this. Go No Go movie reviews and Cinephilesaurus, both on Instagram, asked us about the Johnny Depp situation with Fantastic Beasts. So
don't know much about it, so explain it.
okay, so basically what happened was we've heard that there's a whole thing going on. He's got a very public divorce between him and Amber Heard. Whatever, fine.
Domestic violence.
Yeah, domestic violence.
Accusations, right?
Has he been like he's not been arrested or charged? Or
No.
anything.
So where this whole story comes
But there
from,
is recordings that are questionable.
right. So where this all
Really?
came from is
Yeah,
that
I didn't know
like
that.
cell phone videos. She's doing a dirty trick thing where she's filming them, kind of
Oh, like wilding out, like what?
Yeah, I mean he
Yeah.
wasn't wilding out like the way Mel Gibson wilded
Yeah,
out.
I was about to say like
Yeah.
that.
But still, it was like Johnny Depp's a weird dude, so he
Yeah.
was being weird, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's this thing. He's like, come on, damn it. He's like, damn it.
So the crazy how this all happened was there was no actual like trial or anything. He wasn't. Let's be clear. He was not guilty of anything. This is all alleged.
He wasn't even arrested.
Right. He wasn't arrested. The whole thing came from there was a newspaper, I think called The Sun, that had said that he was
He was a woman beater or something.
a wife beater, whatever. And he sued the newspaper to say that's libel. You cannot say that about me. This has not been found true.
This is before this.
This is while the incident was going on.
Yeah.
Because the newspapers were reporting on it. So he sued them. And then when they went to trial with the libel lawsuit, the judge said, not only are you wrong, but we find that there's evidence that what they're saying about you is true. We're not saying you're guilty. We're saying that you can't say they're libelous. So this coming out from him losing this little court battle with the libel is what has brought on Warner Brothers to say, John, we would like you to walk away from this, even though he's being fired.
Because he proved it to be even more true than some tabloid.
Well, you know what it is?
is?
Warner Brothers is just covering their own ass because now, if he had won that suit, then they like
No,
right.
Say anything.
But now him losing that suit, that gives everybody carte blanche to say that all the time. He's a woman beater. Whatever. Allegedly. But still, you know how it is.
Right.
So now Warner Brothers, they're just like,
Or
they
they'll
see
get
that
canceled.
they see that that's coming.
Wait, what is he never going to get another gig again, or just going to die down in next
No,
year?
so the crazy thing about this that we found out before the show is they paid him his plus million, which whatever
They
for one
probably
of those.
contractually have to.
Well, yeah, because they said he gets his money because there's no morality clause in this deal that he has, so he doesn't have to worry about anything that he gets accused of.
Yeah, because yeah.
And the other thing was that surprisingly online, instead of people calling for Johnny Depp to be canceled, which I thought was going to happen, the hashtag going on the past week has been hashtag justice for Johnny Depp, and they want Amber Heard fired from Aquaman 2. I'm like, like not only are they not jumping on Johnny, they're like siding with him and jumping on Amber Heard, which is just crazy to think in this day and age that we live in.
It feels to me like a little bit of Rose McGowan-y.
Yes,
she I feel like they're looking at her like she's like stirring trouble.
Yeah, and then she's like,
no matter how right,
crazy woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because Johnny Depp, I mean,
He's
I think
not a bird.
I think he's a little overrated, but he's still like he was.
I agree. He's not a.
Recently, I think he was a big star. He was a very bankable star.
He was.
He was. I agree. He's not.
I don't
quite
think he
the
brought.
A-plus
I didn't see
star.
those movies. I don't think anybody
Yeah, I was gonna
went
say,
to
Frank,
go see the Fantastic
You're
Beasts
the
movies
Fantastic
because
Beasts
he's
No,
guy.
in
no,
it.
but I saw the movies twice
Right.
each, if that.
And I haven't seen any of them. none of
But
us have,
he,
so
you
that
know,
was-
you just don't want to replace somebody.
Is
That's
he
in
a
my
big
head.
part of those movies? Or
Like
is
if
he
you're gonna pay him, just let him finish the movie.
how big is he in those movies? Is he like a solid?
He's a villain.
He's the main villain.
Yeah.
He's Grindelwald.
Yes.
Okay, so the second movie's named after him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's a big part of this
Yeah.
franchise.
So
I didn't
he's
know.
the villain. He's the guy who fights Dumbledore.
Oh, okay, so this is huge.
So that's why there's.
And another part we have to
Just
mention.
look at all the problems she caused for Warner Brothers.
That's a good.
So
the other part
you
is we
don't-
have to talk
You
about.
just don't want to
is-
see someone be replaced if you're gonna end up paying him anyways.
And the third movie into the series. It's not like it's
That's what I'm
one
saying.
off.
But
The
I
guy
don't know
that
how
they
many
got
more
to
movies there's gonna
the
be.
guy that no guy who they got him, but he looks just like him.
I was gonna say, so the other part of this that people are asking us about is, what do you guys think about Mads Mikkelsen replacing Johnny Depp? And you guys know I'm the biggest Mads Mikkelsen fan.
I have no
love,
idea who he is.
I love anything.
He was in Star Wars. Rogue One, right?
He was in Rogue One. He's in
No.
Doctor Strange. He's in Hannibal, which is one of my favorite. There you go. That would be a great movie, even though they make the Hannibal franchise into movies anyway. I love the Hannibal TV show.
What in Doctor Strange?
He's the bad guy. He's Caecilius.
Oh yeah.
He's the one who's. His thing is his eyes are always messed up in every movie he's in. He's in Royale. He's the guy who's bleeding eye.
He looks very different.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
I
what you're
love
talking
Mads
about.
Mikkelsen.
I know you're talking.
I don't want
about.
to see Johnny Depp necessarily get replaced.
I don't
but
want to see it
Matt-
either. Just
but
'cause
Mads
I don't like.
Mikkelsen's
I don't like
incredible.
seeing that.
I would take that.
I like seeing replacements happen.
I didn't know he was the main villain.
Yeah, he's
me
the guy who fights. Yeah, you know.
Did you like his performance in it?
Yeah, it's Johnny Depp, and it's right up his alley. It's like
A weirdo, like a weird guy.
thing. That's you know. So
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, so definitely an unfortunate
well.
situation for Johnny Depp, but he wrote a nice letter. He's like, hey, I'm sorry
Yeah,
this
he would.
happened. You know,
That
but
wouldn't have been nice if he wasn't getting that $1 million.
I was gonna say, yeah.
There would've been
I'll
no
write a nice
fucking
letter
letter.
too. Get my money and don't have to work.
Yeah, exactly.
They said he got an 8-figure salary, which just means 10+ million. So
Yeah.
I'm sure he's happy collecting the check.
He's
and
just gonna go.
he's gonna walk away for a little bit.
Eat
He said he's
pale-
gonna
he
fight
goes-
this. He said, just to be fair and clear, he's denied all allegations, and he said he'll be back from this, and this is not true.
Well, didn't he? Isn't
I
he?
think Matt Lauer said that too the last time.
That's what they all say, right?
He's got to give it a little time.
No, he'll be back.
Just
I have no
the
doubt Johnny will
the
be back.
climate of cancel culture and everything. You know,
And
like
he'll be back faster because they're calling for justice for him. They're not calling for him to be canceled. They're calling
yeah,
for him
but
to be back.
it's just some people. There's gonna be plenty of people that
Wait till the social justice warriors get a hold of us.
Oh, I'm sure they.
They got a lot of shit to worry about. The elections going on.
Oh yeah, they got plenty.
He
of
slipped
things.
under the radar right now.
And
Yeah,
they worried about.
he's not the main.
Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. All right, guys. So thanks for all the questions. Let's also again before we go into our news and notes, remind everyone here on
YouTube,
Live.
Instagram,
Or
like,
Instagram.
comment, subscribe.
Follow us.
Cheesy Ed here.
Cheesy head here. Danny, anything going on in the comment section? Anything we should mention real quick?
Christmas Story is the best Christmas movie.
yeah. I think
can't-
it's-
Yeah.
you can't, like,
Who
say
said that?
no about that.
Octavio.
I'm getting a little sick of it. These
Octavio?
last
Shout out to
years, like, the
Octavio.
These last
24
few
hours,
years
so
or
it's
these
like,
last 20 years?
Yeah, you
worth
can't
of-
beat Christmas. Yeah, that's an all-time classic. All right, guys. So
yeah,
You'll
nothing
shoot your
feels more
eye
like
out.
Christmas than
it's
that
true.
movie.
It's quintessential.
I love those. I love. I don't know those movies where it just captures youth, childhood innocence so well.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I recently watched? Funny, it's a Christmas movie too. Daddy's Home too.
Never saw.
I saw the first one. I've not
Daddy's
seen
Homes
the
I
second
thought
one.
were pretty fun.
The first one is better than I thought it was going to be.
That's the Will Ferrell and Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg. Yeah.
Did you watch them or no?
First one is good.
I don't remember them.
The second one's to Christmas.
Okay, I gotta watch that.
It's funny
Right, where they're
because
dads.
because Mel Gibson is his dad,
and John Lithgow.
and it's the perfect cast.
I like the other guys.
You
the
couldn't
movie
have
that they
casted
did.
better characters to be other
They're-
dads.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, news and notes. First note. We talked about this a little before. Sean Connery passed away at the age of 90.
I feel like I fucking jinxed him.
Yeah,
I mean, he's 90s.
I know. Unfortunately, one of the legends of old Hollywood,
in
one of the final legends.
Sucks.
Everyone knows James Bond, but of course you could talk about like The Rock. He was in. He was
Mm-hmm.
in like classics from the 70s. Mike, you love the classics. Is there a movie you think of with him
Yeah,
besides?
isn't it Raiders
Yeah.
of the Lost?
Yeah, no,
Of
the
course,
Last
The Last
Crusade.
Crusade.
I mean, Last Crusade.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks of Last Crusade. Everyone thinks of Bond, of course, the original OG Bond. So, you got any other thoughts on? Connery.
Extraordinary Gentleman.
That was the last movie he did.
That
Yeah,
was?
well, he hated that. If you read like
I heard
he
he did not.
fucking was. That's
Really?
like what turned him off of Hollywood. He couldn't stand that movie.
Yeah,
And he
so
did, like,
it
he-
bombed. That's why.
It did
Well,
bomb.
not only that, but like the production wasn't that. He hated the director Stephen Norrington,
Really?
who never worked again after that either.
Ooh.
He came hot of Blade for the first Blade. That
Wow.
director.
I'll never work again in this town. It really happened.
Yeah, he never.
Connery said it. And it was
Yeah.
declared.
Blade's a
that
great
was it.
movie,
And
though.
fucking even the writer of the comic book, Alan Moore, who did like V for Vendetta,
Wow.
Watchmen, and all that stuff, he fucking hated it. And he like that was like what made him hate working with Hollywood.
Get
Was
the
that
fuck
movie?
outta
That
here.
hurt him,
Yeah.
kind of unofficially.
Well, that was like
Yeah.
the first crack at a superhero movie.
Yeah, it
Or
was like-
not,
He did Blade.
not first crack, but like that was like
It was a big budget movie. I
Yeah.
mean, like did really well with Blade.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Tom
famous-
Sawyer or whatever. not,
Yeah.
Huck, I think was in it.
and the guy with the
Dorian
picture-
Gray, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Captain Nemo.
Yeah, Dracula, the Dracula girl.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
So R.I.P. Sean Connery.
Oh, Rising Sun
of
with
the
Wesley
greats.
Snipes. It was
Yeah.
like a fun Sean Connery movie.
Okay, I
I
never
like
seen
that
that
one. There was one called Just Cause, like a murder mystery movie, a fun little
I
twist.
heard he did like a 70s like space age sci-fi movie called like Zardoz, which I heard people.
Zardoz.
Yeah, I've heard.
I've
people
never
like that.
seen.
I never seen it either.
Oh, he was in like the Highlander movies.
Oh, Highlander. That's another big one for Sean Connery.
The he was like competing in Mr. Universe title for Mr. Universe before like
Really?
Schwarzenegger and all that stuff.
I did not
You
know
can see
that.
old pictures of him doing
Wow.
Before they juiced.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
right.
look
Yeah.
like actually normal people.
Yeah.
Back when they used to just suck their gun in it and didn't do the pose,
Yeah.
right? All right. So next.
But rest
piece.
in peace.
Guys,
It's
rest in peace,
sad.
Sean
It's sad.
Connery.
And rest in
Coming
peace, Alex
first-
Trebek. Since
coming
we're talking
first.
about
Oh,
death.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trebek.
All right, guys. Next piece of news. A little bit more news came out on WandaVision. They instead of it coming out at the end of December, it's now being pushed to January 15th, and it's gonna have 6 episodes.
I'm not.
I don't even know.
A lot of
Fuck it
hype for this
is.
show.
It's a sitcom with
They're
them
doing-
too. I
no,
don't
it's-
understand how it's in the 1950s.
So
either.
what they're doing is, I don't know if you guys heard. So they're doing 6 episodes.
That's
Each
right. Okay, I know
episode-
what it is
Each
now.
episode is going to be a different decade. So the first episode.
Aren't they on
like
the cover of
50s.
Entertainment Weekly right now
Yeah,
or
this is
something?
where the news
Well,
came
I don't
out.
understand how they could. How do they jump around?
Well, we know they say that it's tying into Doctor Strange with the multiverse, and then the first episode is going to be the 50s in black and white, which is going to do the honeymooners thing.
Yeah.
And then the next episode is going to be the 60s, then the 70s, and the 80s. So I like this. Like this is a huge risk for Marvel. This is the most different, weirdest thing they've ever
It's gonna
done.
be actually a sitcom.
What is this now?
This is with
WandaVision.
WandaVision. In terms of just they're switching it up.
I can't see this. I
Yeah.
can't see myself. Like
I mean,
I'm gonna give it a shot. This is like really new and weird and different. I want to see what like people say. Marvel does the same thing every time. It's like, all right, well, this
they're
is
like
different.
two of the most boringest characters out of all these Avengers movies.
But it could
is
be
those-
cool.
It could be.
I like.
what? I don't understand the fucking jump around.
We-
And I'm a Marvel fan. I don't know what.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna
Do
have
you
to.
know
just-
anything about that?
No, I just know that this is these two characters in this alternate universe, and they're gonna do a
But
different.
it's
sitcom.
not into like the main.
No, they are. Well, they're tying it into Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So let's. I don't know.
So you
Well,
bring
only 6
time
episodes.
travel into shit, you could do anything.
Yeah,
it's like
right.
such easy.
Only 6 episodes
crux.
though. That's weird. They're not doing the Mandalorian 8 episodes. They're doing the Friday. I checked. It's January 15th. Is a Friday. So this is the gap after Mandalorian ends. They're like, oh, now we have another show.
This is the first show that,
Marvel show
but
that they're doing.
of Marvel and Star Wars. This is the second one after Mandalorian. No other show has come out yet.
Right. Yeah. Because Winter Soldier got pushed back.
So there's nothing else.
Another boring one.
Oh no, you're gonna be wrong about that.
Dude,
Falcon Winter Soldier is gonna be awesome.
so boring.
Cannot wait.
Anthony Mackie. And I don't even know the other guy.
Oh, what's
Sebastian
coming out
Stan.
soon is the they're redoing the Hollywood Star Wars holiday.
Yeah, the
and-
Lego thing.
Yeah,
right?
in
That's-
5 or 6 days. I sent you
You're
that
gonna-
today.
Watch
I'll
it.
check that out. It'll be fun. It's just for fun. It's silly.
Is it supposed to be like a Lego version of the actual Star Wars
It's a
holiday
Lego-
special?
No,
It's-
it's not redoing that. Did you see the original holiday?
I'd never seen it. What
a
it
Lego
is.
version
Yeah.
of
You seen it?
the sequel
Is it
trilogy.
embarrassing?
It's bad.
horrific.
It's bad.
It's
yeah,
horrific.
But it's,
I've seen clips. It's horrific.
funny now.
I've seen clips too.
That's where Boba Fett was introduced.
Yeah, on a dinosaur,
Yeah.
riding
Have
a
you ever seen
dinosaur.
Spaceballs?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the best
I
movie
used to
ever.
love that movie. I watched it with you probably a million times.
But you never liked it, I don't think, right?
I never thought it was.
I
As
told
funny
you
as I
before,
thought it
my
was.
favorite comedy of all time, hands down, is Spaceballs, dude.
That's
That movie's the
crazy.
fucking best.
I love that
That movie, I watched it recently, and it's so meta. I didn't realize the meta jokes like the when the camera couldn't kill,
Yeah.
or they're looking into the camera and like speaking, or the obvious one where they find their own. When they're fast forwarding through the movie, and they get to the part where that movie's fucking brilliant, man. It is. That's great shit.
The Lego one is about.
It's
like a multiverse.
And
Rey's able to go almost like a Family Guy multiverse. She's able to go back to like the prequels.
and all the characters are like
so
doing
she'll
the
go
holiday.
back to see Luke in his time when he's younger.
And there's like the young Solo and the new Solo.
Yeah.
So it's like
like
it's
a
just,
multiverse.
It's fun. It's silly. It's not. It's not.
I hope they have fun. I didn't see all the Lego movies, but like
saw
the
the first
clips
one.
of one, like I think I saw the first one too, and
one's good.
like Batman is funny. They like they're like making jokes, like a wink and a nod
he's
joke.
Like, yes, I talk.
Or he's like singing the song. He's like, I'm mysterious, all that stuff.
It's cool. All right. So next piece of news, guys. Of course, with the COVID thing, we heard that the Mortal Kombat film has been delayed indefinitely. Which is different because usually we're just hearing all these movies are just getting delayed to another date. They just basically said we're not even going to put Mortal Kombat out, which I know we're all hyped for. They're not even putting it out until after COVID's like done.
Well, they
over.
said they're not even going to announce a release date
Exactly.
until theaters
open. They are not going to give
That's
you a
a
date.
movie they can't take a risk of because they need the theaters.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat needs to make every dollar.
especially if it's rated R.
Exactly.
It's an action movie.
Right, and it's going to need rated R. It's going to have to make every dollar because they're not going to bring it.
Good,
in a
move
wide
all the
audience.
movies back, dude.
Yeah,
just keep
No, they're
moving
all
them back.
coming out in about 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They didn't push any of those.
This
Still?
is-
Which ones?
Like all of them, they're supposed to be set in December now.
Well,
that's all gone.
No, nothing. Those are all gone.
They're all gone.
Yeah, unless Wonder Woman. No, Wonder Woman moved. Yeah, everything moved.
Everything moved.
Everything's out.
Like we said,
Yeah, everything's out.
obviously.
We still haven't seen a trailer for Coming to America
Oh
2.
yes, get us that trailer for coming.
If
to
it's
America.
even gonna come out.
No, Amazon said they got it lined up.
They spent all that money on it. They can't afford to do any promoting for it.
I
They're just
know.
going to stick
Yeah,
it
right.
out there.
All right, another piece of news, guys. We heard Tenet is going to get a home DVD release December 15th. But the funny part of that is they still said Nolan has said he wants to still have a New York and LA premiere for this
Yeah,
movie.
you can't premiere something that's already out.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
get
he
that.
wants to have the movie theaters open up. Like whenever the theaters open up, he said he
Alright.
wants to still have a premiere for this movie. And I'm like,
Well, as long as everyone's social distance, and we'll be good.
So the DVD release means it's coming to streaming.
it's coming.
too?
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, I don't know what they're gonna do with deals, but I'm sure you could like buy it for like $15 on wherever they're gonna have
Is
it.
it still in theaters right now?
It's in theater. Last I checked, it was still in
Well,
like
it's the only thing in theaters. What else are they fucking playing?
well, they can play old stuff,
I guess.
and they're gonna play that Liam Neeson movie we keep talking about.
Oh yeah, that's coming out in theaters.
No,
I think it's
yeah,
out already.
Honest Thief.
It's out?
Yeah, Honest. You can go see Honest Thief for Tenet. Great choices. Well, Tenet's a great choice, but still, there's not a lot of options.
It's funny, and I'm not the first. I didn't say this, but it's such a good point. Is that Tenet was supposed to be the movie that saves movie theaters, and it actually helped destroy them further.
It did.
It's not. It's so bad right now. I know it's rough. All right. Other piece. I'm sorry, Mike. You had something?
It was a good movie. It's not the greatest movie.
No, I know.
It's not something
I
that's
could
kinda like people are gonna fucking. It's like I said. It's not Inception.
No, it's not.
No.
Like-
You're not gonna have.
I never thought it would
people
be.
throwing up, coughing, and they're dying, but they got to see the movie first.
No, I
Save
don't
the
think
kids.
so.
Yeah, exactly. So that's. I
We
think
saw it
it's-
opening. That was where we saw it was pretty crowded.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah, and it was still spaced, and everyone was good. It was fine. Never a
It
problem.
felt like normal to me.
It did. It felt very normal. It's just, well, it's going to do well at home now because for people who just didn't want to go to the theater or just haven't seen it, I think they'll rent it or they'll pay the
I definitely will.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
especially if it's like $10. I
I'll
think
pay
people.
for it.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, why not? All right, guys. So I think we hit on a ton of topics tonight. Covered pretty much everything. So let's before we wrap up, let's remind everyone we're on Instagram at Movies That Don't Suck with 2 Ks. We're here live on YouTube right now. All one word, Movies That Don't Suck. Please like, comment, subscribe.
Do all that stuff,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. We're also on Twitter. Got to follow us on there at Movies That Don't.
At movies that don't.
And if you want to hear the audio for our podcast, I think we're pretty much on every major
Anchor,
platform.
Spotify,
We're on Anchor, Spotify,
iTunes.
Apple. You can't miss it. It's just everywhere there is.
We are there.
So
Biggest podcast in the world.
that's hey, we're gonna try to climb those charts, man.
Yeah. Spotify's gonna buy us soon.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind that. Get that Joe Rogan deal.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I'll say goodnight to everyone. Frank, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Mike, thank you.
Eric, thank you.
Tim, thank you. And of course, our producer engineer,
Danny.
Danny.
Damn the man.
In a minute. All right, guys. See you next time. Take care.
Is that long?